Hello everyone, this is Dennis Chang here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. What you just saw were 5 solos based on the improvisations of 5 legendary musicians. I'll talk about them in a second. But before that, this was a clip from a lesson that I produced for the SoundSlice platform. You'll find the link in the description box. It's a lesson called Jazz, Phrasing, and Swing. So, as the title suggests, it talks about something that's quite overlooked in, I think, jazz education, namely the topic of phrasing and swing within the context of traditional jazz, like 1930s, 1920s jazz, but also bebop, up to, like, let's say, well, until today, but at some point things start to open up a little bit, and it might have not as much relevance today as it did back then. But if you like the music of Charlie Parker, Thelonious Monk, Bill Evans, Wes Montgomery, all these legends, then this course is for you. Okay? And if you like my YouTube channel, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, because that actually makes a huge difference, believe it or not. Yes, it does. And, I do all this YouTube content for free. I don't have Patreon or anything. But if you want to support me, you can check out the courses on SoundSlice or my DC Music School website, where I produce lessons for so many musicians. Maybe you'll find something that you like. Likewise, I also recently released a series of lessons on developing bebop vocabulary. So again, you can check that out on the SoundSlice link in the description box. And I gotta say, I want to thank the fine folks at Godin Guitars for sending me this guitar. I didn't even really ask for it. I just said, it's too bad you can't find these guitars in Taiwan. And then the CEO offered to send me this. And I've been playing this since. So thank you. Merci Patrick Godin. Merci beaucoup. That was French for pardon my French. So about these 5 solos, they're based on the improvisations of Louis Armstrong, Charlie Christian, Django Reinhardt, Joe Pass, Wes Montgomery. See if you can tell who's who. And I chose these 5 players. I could have chosen many more, of course, but these 5 players share a common lineage in that they have the same influences. Well, actually, Louis Armstrong is kind of the father of a lot of this. And this lineage is a lineage of phrasing of certain rhythmic figures. You'll find certain rhythms, such as the Charleston rhythm, which I discuss in the lesson series. You'll find certain issues of phrasing as well in common between these 5 players who have their own style, yet have come from the same lineage. I really think this is a really important topic that unfortunately not many people, not many educators talk about. And yet when you really study the improvisations or the playing of all these fine players and then some, you really get to see this clear lineage of where it's all coming from. And I've kind of reduced it to the Charleston rhythm. And the Charleston rhythm is this rhythmic figure. 1, 2, 3, 4, pa, pa, 4, pa, pa. From such a simple rhythm, you have basically the seed of generations of jazz phrasing. Again, you'll have to check out the lesson series to really see how such a seed can branch out into so many different styles. So I said this is relevant to swing music and bebop music, but even to modern jazz, well, the start of modern jazz. So I've been checking out a lot of, for example, Thelonious Monk, some Bill Evans and things like that. For example, with Thelonious Monk, I've been checking out a lot of his compositions, and I see, again, this lineage in his compositions. So a lot of these modern pioneers, the pioneers of what we call quote-unquote modern jazz, also came from this lineage, even though it might not show as much. If you go to the SoundSlice course and you check out the actual course and where you find these solos, you have everything transcribed, so you can see these rhythms and this phrasing stuff that I talk about. And one more thing that I'd like to say is that the importance of this style of jazz is the groove of the rhythm section. Because in order to play this kind of phrasing and this kind of rhythmic placement, then you need a solid rhythm section. And it's this contrast between what you do as an improviser, these rhythms that you do, and the steadiness of the rhythm section that makes this swing and phrasing so powerful. So hopefully you enjoyed those 5 excerpts and you'll be tempted to check out this course. I promise you, it's really, really, really good. Okay, so that was an advertisement for my course. I apologize. I still want to give you something though. So in this course, I talk about the importance of the Charleston rhythm, how it's at the root of everything. But there's also beat 4 that is very important. And when you combine the Charleston rhythm and beat 4, you have a rhythm that is ancient. And it's called the Tresillo rhythm. It's found in Afro-Cuban music. But Tresillo, you probably, let me just play for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, dum, dum, bum, 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 bum. You probably heard like that kind of a doom, doom, doom. That's a Tresillo rhythm. So this beat 4 also has an important role in jazz. And nowadays in jazz you can find, of course, the Tresillo, but you also find beat 4 and then the Charleston rhythm as separate entities, or sometimes combined. When combined would be the Tresillo. And one player that makes use a lot of these rhythms would be Wes Montgomery. He's one of my favorite players to check out for swing rhythm and that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna play for you a solo that he did on one of his compositions called The Thumb. It's a blues in G. I'm gonna do it with my buddy Larry. And notice how there's so much emphasis on beat 4. So as I play, maybe you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, so you can see like how there's accents on beat 4. Nice and slow. 1, 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Maybe the note choices weren't exactly the way Wes did it, but it was pretty much this rhythm. And I think these kinds of rhythms, the way he accents beat 4 is really, really cool. And really the course is a lot about these subtle things that people rarely talk about these days. So maybe that'll give you maybe make you intrigued and want to check out the course. And if you do buy it, thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye-bye.